What if the sun suddenly vanished from our solar system without warning? Without a trace? No explosion, no fading, just gone. For 8 minutes, everything would seem normal. The skies would remain blue. Birds would still fly. Your morning coffee would still be warm. But behind that illusion of normalcy, a cosmic clock would already be ticking. When those final rays of sunlight reach Earth, our planet would be plunged into darkness. The temperature would begin to fall. Fast. Within hours, cities would freeze. Entire ecosystems would collapse. Plants, deprived of sunlight, would begin to die. Without photosynthesis, oxygen production would cease. Food chains would snap like brittle ice. Gravity would betray us. No longer tethered to the sun's immense pull, Earth would drift into deep space, a cold, lonely wanderer in an infinite void. The moon would remain, at least for a while. But tides, seasons, and weather systems would all collapse into chaos. And humanity? Could we survive underground? Would nuclear power or geothermal heat be enough to keep us alive? Or is this the beginning of extinction? In this episode, we'll uncover the terrifying chain reaction that would unfold minute by minute, year by year, in a world without our star. This isn't science fiction. It's science, raw, real, and closer than you think. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe to Mysterious Universe and join our journey through the deepest mysteries of existence. Because if the sun disappears, it's not just the light we lose, it's everything. What if the sun suddenly vanished from our solar system without warning? Without a trace? No explosion, no fading, just gone. For 8 minutes, everything would seem normal. The skies would remain blue. Birds would still fly. Your morning coffee would still be warm. But behind that illusion of normalcy, a cosmic clock would already be ticking. When those final rays of sunlight reach Earth, our planet would be plunged into darkness. The temperature would begin to fall. Fast. Within hours, cities would freeze. Entire ecosystems would collapse. Plants, deprived of sunlight, would begin to die. Without photosynthesis, oxygen production would cease. Food chains would snap like brittle ice. Gravity would betray us. No longer tethered to the sun's immense pull, Earth would drift into deep space, a cold, lonely wanderer in an infinite void. The moon would remain, at least for a while. But tides, seasons, and weather systems would all collapse into chaos. And humanity? Could we survive underground? Would nuclear power or geothermal heat be enough to keep us alive? Or is this the beginning of extinction? In this episode, we'll uncover the terrifying chain reaction that would unfold minute by minute, year by year, in a world without our star. This isn't science fiction. It's science, raw, real, and closer than you think. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe to Mysterious Universe and join our journey through the deepest mysteries of existence. Because if the sun disappears, it's not just the light we lose, it's everything. One day later, the world is unrecognizable. The temperature has plummeted. Average surface temperatures fall below freezing. Cities like New York, Paris, and Tokyo are cloaked in frost. Pipes burst. Cars freeze. People pile into homes, burning anything flammable for heat. Power grids strain as heaters roar to life, consuming every last reserve of energy. Food begins to spoil. Without sunlight, crops cannot photosynthesize. Greenhouses shut down. Refrigerated supply chains falter. In tropical regions, where warmth lingered the longest, chaos erupts as refugees surge north and south looking for stability. Flights are grounded. Shipping halts. Borders close. The skies remain pitch black, without sunlight to scatter through the atmosphere. There's no blue, only the eerie glow of distant stars and a pale, cold moon. The moon no longer reflects sunlight, instead, it hangs dim and dead in the sky. The psychological toll is immense. People are not built for eternal night. The ocean's surface begins to cool. Sea ice starts forming in the Arctic and Antarctic at alarming speeds. Marine ecosystems are disrupted. Coral reefs die. Fisheries collapse. The ocean's role as Earth's thermal battery is waning. And humanity knows. This is not a temporary eclipse. This is extinction in slow motion. Despite best efforts, No artificial light or heat can match the might of the sun. Cities begin to fail. Emergency systems go offline. Radio silence blankets rural regions. Only the most technologically advanced nations maintain partial order. But even they know, time is running out. 1 week has passed since the sun vanished. Earth is no longer the same planet. The surface temperature has now dropped to around -17 degrees Celsius, 1 degree Fahrenheit. Cities that were once vibrant and bustling are now silent and frozen. Oceans have begun forming thick sheets of ice on the surface. Especially in colder regions, snowstorms rage across continents that have never seen snow before. Crops are dead, livestock are freezing. Most surface animals have either perished or are retreating underground in desperation. Without sunlight, photosynthesis has completely stopped. Plants have withered. Forests that once purified our air are now eerily still. Oxygen levels haven't dropped yet, but the clock is ticking. Humans who survive this far are living off emergency supplies. Powered by nuclear, geothermal, or hydroelectric energy, but energy grids are under stress. Without solar input, the atmosphere starts collapsing inward, changing air circulation patterns. Global winds become erratic, sometimes deadly. The psychological toll is just as severe. Constant darkness creates chaos in human biology. Our internal clocks, once synced to the day-night cycle, begin to break down. Sleep disorders, depression, and confusion spread rapidly. Crime rises in some regions where desperation has taken hold. Astronomers look up at the night sky, but something's missing. The stars are still there. The moon is still orbiting us. But there's no sunrise, no golden hour, just a never-ending void. It's unnatural, unbearable. In this sunless world, governments worldwide are uniting in a way never seen before. Emergency bunkers are built. Underground farms using artificial light are being developed. But the truth is chilling. These are just short-term solutions. The Earth is becoming a giant freezer. And we've only made it through the first 7 days. What happens in the next month will determine whether humanity survives, or vanishes with the sun. It's now been 1 month since the sun disappeared, and Earth has descended into a deep freeze. Surface temperatures have plummeted to around -40 degrees Celsius, -40 degrees Fahrenheit, on average. In many parts of the world, it's far colder. Oceans are no longer liquid on the surface. A thick sheet of ice now stretches across vast portions of the Atlantic and Pacific. Only the deepest, most thermally active parts of the sea remain liquid, but even these are beginning to cool. Most of humanity's surface civilization is now non-functional. Cities are abandoned. Skyscrapers stand like frozen tombstones, covered in ice. Cars are buried in snow. Planes are grounded forever. Nature has reclaimed what humans can no longer maintain. Those who have survived this long are living underground, in bunkers and geothermal shelters near tectonic hotspots. Iceland, parts of Russia, Alaska, and volcanic islands have become unexpected safe zones, thanks to the heat from deep within the Earth. But food is a critical issue. With no sunlight, agriculture has collapsed. Animals have died off. People are now relying on stored food, lab-grown meat, and indoor hydroponics powered by nuclear energy, but it's not enough for everyone. Governments ration supplies. Desperation grows. The atmosphere itself is changing. Without sunlight, the Earth's upper layers begin to condense, and pressure drops. Weather patterns have stopped. Winds have died. The planet is becoming eerily still and terrifyingly cold. 1 month without the sun and Earth is now a planet of eternal night, with a surface unrecognizable to what it once was. But this is just the beginning. The real terror lies in what comes next. Will Earth become a frozen rock drifting through space, or can humanity adapt before it's too late? 12 months have passed since the sun vanished, and Earth is no longer the world we once knew. The average global temperature has now dropped to -100 degrees Celsius, -148 degrees Fahrenheit. Entire continents are buried under miles of snow and ice. Once great cities like New York, Tokyo, and Paris lie frozen in silence beneath thick sheets of frost. Nature has gone still. Forests have died. Rivers and lakes are solid blocks of ice. Earth's surface has become a lifeless, alien tundra. The oceans? They're almost entirely frozen over. Only a few superheated vents at the bottom of the sea, deep near tectonic rifts, still churn with warmth. These are the last places where liquid water exists on the planet. Above ground, the sky is pitch black. The stars shine brighter, but offer no warmth, no hope. Auroras flicker occasionally, a haunting reminder of a once vibrant atmosphere. But even Earth's magnetic field has started to weaken, as the internal heat of the planet slowly begins to fade. Humanity now lives in vast underground networks, powered by nuclear reactors and geothermal energy. These bunkers are our last sanctuaries, clustered near active fault lines where warmth still rises from the planet's core. People live shoulder to shoulder, surviving on lab-grown algae, mushrooms, and synthetic proteins. But space and resources are running out. Society has fractured, nations no longer exist, governments have collapsed into isolated zones of survival. Communication between bunkers is rare. The human population has dropped drastically, from billions to just millions. Yet even now, hope remains. Some scientists believe that, with enough time and innovation, we can terraform artificial light zones or even launch survival ships to other star systems. But Earth, as we knew it, is gone. A millennium has passed since the sun disappeared, and Earth is now completely transformed. The surface of the planet is a frozen tomb. Temperatures have stabilized around -240 degrees Celsius, -400 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a few degrees above absolute zero. The atmosphere has condensed and collapsed. Oxygen and nitrogen have frozen out of the sky, forming icy layers across the ground. The sky no longer exists as we know it. No clouds, no wind, no sound, just silence, deep, eternal silence. The planet looks more like Pluto or a distant moon than the vibrant Earth that once was. The continents, now unrecognizable, are covered in solid ice sheets miles thick. The oceans are no longer liquid, they're entirely frozen from surface to seabed. A global glacier encapsulating whatever life once existed there. But beneath this icy shell, deep underground, Earth still holds secrets of survival. Geothermal energy, though weakening, continues to radiate from the molten outer core, providing a dwindling source of warmth. It's here, in these geothermal oases, that the last human civilizations endure, generation after generation, locked away from the surface, clinging to myths of the sun and stories of stars. These underground cities have evolved, with artificial ecosystems, bioluminescent lighting, and hydroponic food systems. Humanity has adapted, not to thrive, but to survive. Yet even the Earth's core cannot last forever. The core is slowly cooling. As it does, the magnetic field fades, exposing the planet to cosmic radiation and interstellar debris. The final protection of Earth is breaking down. At this point, the planet is nothing more than a frozen relic, a graveyard of a civilization that once basked in sunlight. The sun gave us life. Its absence has rewritten our fate. 1 million years. Earth is now a silent cosmic fossil, adrift in the cold abyss of space. With the sun long gone, our solar system has collapsed into chaos, and Earth is no exception. The planet no longer orbits anything. It has become a rogue planet, drifting aimlessly through the darkness, no longer bound by the gravitational pull of a star. The moon, without the sun's gravity to stabilize its orbit, has likely either collided with Earth, or spun off into space, forever lost. Surface conditions are unimaginably hostile. The ice is now hundreds of miles thick. Any trace of the atmosphere is long gone. Cosmic radiation, gamma rays, and high-energy particles bombard the planet from every direction. The once blue oceans, frozen solid, have become crystalline monuments to a forgotten world. And beneath all that? Nothing. By now, Earth's geothermal heat has all but vanished. The core has cooled significantly, solidifying into a cold mass of iron and nickel, with no internal warmth left to give. Even the deepest underground shelters have collapsed into extinction. The last bacteria, perhaps the only remnants of life, have frozen or decayed in silence. The magnetic field is gone. The tectonic plates no longer shift. Earth's surface has become geologically dead. Like the moon, no earthquakes, no volcanoes, no movement. This planet, once teeming with cities, forests, oceans, and dreams, is now an interstellar tombstone, slowly drifting through galaxies it can no longer understand. There are no lights, no sound, no time, only stillness. But while Earth fades into myth, a question remains. Did humanity leave? Did we find another star? Or did we vanish with the sun? 10 million years. Earth is no longer a planet as we once knew it. It has become a ghost ship wandering through a sea of stars. Utterly blind, no sunrise has touched its horizon in 10 million years. No warmth has reached its surface. It is a world forgotten by the universe, and perhaps by us. The frozen crust has thickened beyond comprehension. It now encases the entire planet in a shell miles deep, locking away every memory of what once was. No trace of civilization remains on the surface. Skyscrapers, bridges, satellites, all have collapsed, eroded, or been buried beneath mountains of ancient ice. Inside the core, the last whispers of geothermal heat have faded. Earth is now completely geologically inert. Like Mercury or the Moon, no magnetic field, no mantle convection, no volcanic activity. Tectonic plates are frozen in place, and the once dynamic crust lies motionless. Time, here, has no meaning. With no sunlight to scatter, Earth's skies are pitch black, not dark, black. The only light is the occasional flash of a passing gamma-ray burst or the distant glimmer of a supernova. Barely enough to cast a shadow. And yet, Earth does not react, it simply drifts, frozen and blind. In these 10 million years, other stars have been born and died. Entire civilizations elsewhere in the galaxy may have risen and fallen, never knowing that our world once existed, that once, on a small blue planet orbiting a yellow star, life had the audacity to ask why. And perhaps somewhere out there, a telescope on a faraway world detects this icy wanderer, and wonders if it was ever alive. 1 billion years, Earth has now drifted through the cosmos, alone and forgotten, for longer than complex life even existed on its surface. From space, it no longer resembles the vibrant blue marble it once was. Instead, Earth has become a dead, frozen orb, its surface hidden beneath layer after layer of ice and cosmic debris. The continents have eroded into uniformity, mountains crushed under the weight of frozen oceans, cities erased not by war, but by time. Without the sun's gravity, Earth's journey has been chaotic. It may have passed near other stars, close enough to be scorched by their radiation or pulled violently into erratic orbits. Or perhaps it has floated undisturbed through interstellar darkness, unnoticed, unchanged. Either way, Earth is now a relic, a silent monument to a civilization that once asked where it came from, and where it was going. All chemical traces of life have long since degraded. Even the deepest fossils have decayed into meaningless patterns. DNA, the molecule that once carried the instructions for all life, has completely broken down. If an alien explorer were to find Earth now, they'd see no evidence that life ever existed, no pyramids, no satellites, no skeletal remains. Beneath the surface, Earth's core, once molten and dynamic, has completely solidified. There is no movement, no magnetism, no pulse. Earth is no longer a living planet. It is a cosmic tombstone, floating quietly in the cold dark of space. And yet, in all that silence, Earth still carries a legacy, a history written in starlight, in memory, and perhaps in the faint gravitational pull it still exerts on whatever dares pass close. 10 billion years have passed. Earth, once the cradle of life, the home of artists, warriors, dreamers, and builders, is now a ghost drifting through eternity. Its orbit, if you can even call it that anymore, is a remnant of chaos. Freed from the sun's gravitational leash long ago, Earth may have been captured temporarily by a wandering star, or perhaps it was slingshotted across light years in gravitational pinball. Now, it floats without purpose, without warmth, in a universe that barely remembers it. The Milky Way itself is changing. Stars are dying, galaxies are merging, and black holes are growing fat on cosmic matter. Somewhere, Earth continues to spiral through the dark, its surface frozen like obsidian, its atmosphere long gone, stripped by solar winds billions of years ago. And then, the final moment. A black hole lurks in the void, unseen. Its gravity patiently reaches out across space, and as Earth wanders too close, there's no struggle, no warning, no sound. The planet is torn apart, atom by atom, swallowed by a force so powerful it warps time itself. There is no explosion, no trace, no echo. The last chapter of Earth is not written in fire, but in silence. And yet, maybe Earth's story isn't truly over. Perhaps billions of years ago, before it froze, before it fell, a signal escaped into space, a whisper of civilization, a photograph, a radio wave, a map, a poem. Maybe that signal is still traveling now, untouched by gravity, crossing the vast emptiness, looking for someone to hear it. So if you're reading this, watching this, listening now, remember Earth. We were here, we mattered. Subscribe to our channel to uncover more mysteries of the universe before they, too, are lost to time.